playing my ukulele. I'm kind of stressed out right now. Got a lot of things I need to do. Dilara, this is June 8th, 2019. This is Saturday. Um, I went to see a movie. I've been working and I'm spent 1995 on what is it? It's AMC Stubs. 1995, you can watch up to 3 movies a week. And I've never been a big movie watcher, but I don't have cable, and I think there's enough good movies out there. I do like going to movies. Oh, and when I went today, I like these chairs, these new chairs at the Antioch Theater. I think that's where we watched How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's the first movie Delara went to. We saw Red. Is it Red? Red? Not those old people. It's like those old retired secret agents or whatever. We saw that there. We saw How to Train Your Dragon there with the Olivia and Alex from church. I think we saw one of those movies there. Maybe we didn't see How to Train Your Dragon there with them, but Callie and Laura and Noah, we watched How to Train Your Dragon. Really good movie. But they've upgraded it, and somebody got killed in that too. There's a few years ago, there was somebody went in there, crazy guy, and he went in there with a hatchet or something, and I think the police killed him. I'm not exactly sure. Um, and he didn't kill anybody. He just, I think some people think it was like suicide by police, because he was definitely threatening other people's lives. But they've got these really nice seats there. In fact, sometimes I wish I had a chair like that at my house. They don't massage, but they recline. And I didn't know. I was sitting there watching the movie, and then I'm like, my back is getting hot. And they had heated. If the seat was heated, I must have accidentally pushed the button. And when I went to see Captain Marvel, there was recliners, and so you can go see a movie, you can lay back, and it's such a good thing in the hot summer. Going to a movie theater, that's always been a classic thing to do. And back a long time ago, when people didn't have air conditioners in their house, that's the movie theaters did. People could go to movie theaters to cool off. So 1995, I have to work about an hour and a half to do that, but I think it's going to be a good investment in me. And I wish Delara were here to go with me. But I like those chairs. I like being able to recline and get my feet up. And my feet are hurting. They didn't hurt for a few hours, and now they're hurting again. Um, so that was nice. I really like this. I really like this. I get like so excited. Ooh, they're heated. Ooh, my back hurts. I mean, if I go in there sometime when it gets warm, it's like it feels really good. So it's nice to lay back, and it's cold in there. So if you get too cold, then you got that heat. Your seat is heated. But I watched Rocketman. I love Elton John, and when I was growing up, we had lots of records, and I was always playing records. We had Disney Time Storyteller records, and we had 4 Peter, Paul, and Mary albums, and we had Elton John, and it had Rotten Peaches and Tiny Dancer, and I can't remember all of them. And love, 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 love Elton John. And maybe this movie's fairly accurate. I don't know, or maybe it's his perception of his reality. But it's a good movie. There are some things in there. Yeah, some things in there I didn't feel like I really needed to see, but there were some things in it that I needed to feel and understand. And in that movie, I mean, so many times I keep saying kids get screwed up, and they're screwed up as adults because of what their parents do to them or allow to be done to them. And apparently, Elton John had some his parents did not meet his needs as well as they could have. Elton John is extremely talented, and the his friend who writes his lyrics, uh, Bernie Bernie Taupin, um, they're just, I mean, it's like a match made in heaven. It probably is a match made in heaven. Um, and just whatever you think about how weird he is, he Elton John is he's overcome a lot. He the movie at the end of the movie it says he's been sober for 38 years. Good for him. Um, he's had a lot of trauma. I think everybody does, and you can't really compare who's got more trauma than somebody else because it just depends on what you've experienced previously. But I do know that struggles make us stronger. And I told Dilara a couple of years ago that what she's going through now, if she gets through it, there's not going to be very many things that she won't be able to stand up to on by herself because that's really that was a hard thing. And she's never going to have Delara's. Got to stand up pretty much by herself right now because her dad's got her cut off from people who love her and understand her and want to make like me and her sister and my brother. We're all here and we can't, we're not allowed to have any contact with her because Delara's dad does not, there's no court order. It's just Delara's dad doesn't want to allow it. And as far as the court order saying I can't have any contact with Dilara, the judge also said that she would sign off on anything we agree to. Anything we agree to is fine with her. So if he decided tomorrow to let her spend the rest of the summer with me, it would be fine with the judge. So, and I think I've been through the only thing I have not had to bury a child. I just I lost my fame, lost my marriage. I've lost Dilara, years of Dilara's life. I almost lost my house, but I'm stronger and better, and I'm more. It's been faith building. I'm more reliant on God. I feel like I've really confirmed that my priorities are straight. Um, I feel good about decisions I've made. I know that I'm looking at long term. I could have done things in the short term that might have given me a little relief, might have given Delara a little bit of relief, but in the long term, it would have just made things worse for us. So I'm confident that I've made the right decisions on these big things. Um, but that movie, Rocketman movie, I some things I thought about it was people need to be careful who they give their heart to, and you need to give your heart to somebody before you give your body to them. And they need to give their heart to you before you give your body to them. And if people would just do that, and if they would wait, if you're not ready to get married when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you should not be getting physically I mean, holding hands is about as far as you need to go. And parents need to be watching their kids better, and the kids don't like it. They don't, and I've heard the Mexicans are like that too. The Mexicans are real protective and chaperone, and they're the I don't know if it's just the girls that they really watch close, but parents need to know where the kids are, what they're doing, who they're with at all times till they turn 18 years old. And Delara's dad's lawyer was, some people don't get that. Some people say, "Oh, you've got to give your kids their freedom." they get their freedom when they're 18, and I'm not responsible for them anymore. And their lives are too precious, their hearts are too precious, their minds are too precious. You can't, parents need to be watching over their kids. If I'm legally responsible for my kids till they're 18, then I'd better know where they are, who they're with, and what they're doing. And the children should respect that. And they might not appreciate it, but when they're parents themselves, they'll understand. So I'm going to sing a song. I'm going to hang. I'm going to end this. But I wanted to say about Rocket Town. I think I think I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good story. I'd like. Um, I still don't think I need to know. I don't need to see sex scenes. I don't need to see. Uh, kids have the right idea when they're watching something. They go like, if if a man and a woman start kissing, they're like, oh, that's inappropriate. The kids know. I don't know when they start. When and Dilara was so sensitive. She would say that's not for kids. Not even sex stuff, because I wouldn't let her watch sexual stuff. Not even really violent stuff, but anything just the little least bit scary. And Callie was the same way when she was little. She saw some creepy. We're at the doctor's office. It was like some creepy cartoon, and she says, "That's not for kids. That's not for kids." And Delara would go turn the TV off if she felt like something was inappropriate. She'd get up and go. She said, "That's not for kids." So I hope she's still doing that. I hope she's still guarding her eyes and her heart. Uh, I was just really proud of her. I'm gonna sing my song I wrote, my last jail song. Father, lead me through the darkness, hold my hand and dry my tears. Keep me brave so I will do what's right in spite of doubts and fears. Help me always to remember through the valley of travail that even when you watch me struggle, your love and mercy never fail. Throughout the raging tempest, may I always bear in mind that faithfulness will lead to rest when I leave this world behind. When troubles overwhelm me, I lack the strength to carry on. But I know that you will send a friend I can lean myself upon. And when my own burden's not too heavy and someone needs to lean on me, I'll know you strengthen me through trials to make me more useful to thee. Throughout the raging tempest, may I always bear in mind that faithfulness will lead to rest when I leave this world behind. Please help me to never judge before the truth is shown, and throughout the fiery trials may I make your goodness known. And when enemies oppress me, no matter what they say or do, may how I treat both friend and foe show the love I have for you. Throughout the raging tempest, may I always bear in mind that faithfulness will lead to rest when I leave this world behind. Throughout the raging tempest, may I always bear in mind that faithfulness will lead to rest when I leave this world behind. Something else about the movie was he at some point he overdosed, and I don't know if it was a suicidal gesture or what. I mean, people get in so much, because I've been there, in so much pain, they just want the pain to stop. And Carol Swain, who's running for mayor, she's had that experience too. I think a lot of people have. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because they're embarrassed about it, but they need to talk about it because they just do. But one thing I was thinking is It's the same thing about Terminator. The Terminator preview is, how do we win? We win by keeping you alive. You Suicide is never the right choice. Abortion is never the right choice. Suicide's never the right choice. Divorce is very rarely the right choice, if ever. And these things are permanent solutions to what could be temporary problems. You never want to do that. You want to overcome. And if you give up, if you give in, if you commit suicide, then um, you lose. That's a sure way to lose, to make sure you lose, and the other side, that evil will win, or hatred will win, or whatever, the bad guys win if you give up or commit suicide. As my song, faithfulness will lead to rest. Okay, we need to let God determine when we die. We never need to die by our own hand. We just don't. We just don't. And because almost every problem we think we can't get through, if we just hold on, we'll get through it. And we might not get through it gracefully, and we won't get through it painfully. I mean, painlessly, because if it's a struggle, it's going to hurt. But it's good, and it develops self discipline if you handle it right. And that's what you're supposed to have a support system for, is to help you get through it in a healthy way. So I think everybody, it just shocks me that there are people out there who don't have a support system, and we've got to do that. We've got to get it we got to get from the kids on up. We've got to have them have access to somebody who they can turn to. Um, and I was just hearing somebody tell me about Planned Parenthood. You could go to Planned Parenthood if you want to get birth control or get an abortion or whatever. You can go to Planned Parenthood confidentially. I don't know if you can get an abortion. I'm not sure you can't in Tennessee, but if there's some place where you can get an abortion, and I know they want that. I know they want young girls, minor children, to be able to get abortions without having to tell their parents, and that's just wrong. And same thing with birth control. But the best birth control is lack of opportunity. So what is it? Crimes of opportunity or something? It's the same thing. Sins of opportunity, because just don't put yourself in a situation where you can get yourself in trouble. I learned hard way. I know now how to not get pregnant. Well, actually, I'm in menopause, so I can't get pregnant anyway. But I know how to not. I know how to avoid fornication, and that's why the Bible says flee fornication. I know how to do it now. I didn't really have enough practice at doing it before, and so when I was in a weak moment, I didn't turn to my support system like I should have. Um, but it's all working out, and God's got a good way. He's always got a way of taking our screw ups and making something good out of it. So hang in there. I love you. Be strong. Enjoy as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. Be patient. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt anybody else. Find a way to reach out to me. Tell everybody how you feel. Tell people, if you're afraid of your dad, tell them you're afraid of your dad. And if you want to get a message to me, get a message to me. And I know when I was seeing you, I told you to don't go to Facebook. If your dad tells you don't go to Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube. Um, but I was seeing you. I'm not seeing you now. And what you need is more important than what your dad wants. And I cannot. I think you need to find a way to um, get a hold of Callie, get a hold of me, get a hold of. I don't know who else. Who I mean, I'm really the. If you could get a hold of me, then we'll recover from all this pretty quick. I think if we don't dwell on the pain from the past and we move forward, I think we can get you back pretty quick to where you need to be. But every day, every minute, I'm thinking about you, and my heart hurts. And I want it to hurt. I don't wanna say I don't want my heart to get hardened. I don't wanna give up. I don't wanna give in. I don't want to give up hope, and I don't want you to. I love you, and Callie really wants to see you. Callie is, really upset, um, and she's supposed to be reaching out to, uh we're gonna see what happens, and Judge Calloway is, um yeah, I'm still going after her. She's stalling. She's good at dragging things out, but she's gonna be held accountable for what she did to you.